Buildings with Beacons Part 2. This right here is the 4 Times Square in New York City. I think that's what it's called. On the antenna, I think if the antenna has or spire, I think it has a FH308. It's a Y only single strobe or Y only LED. But I mostly think it's an FH308. So right here is the one Vanderbilt in Nashville. I think it has a strobe-ish LED. Maybe one of those Technostrobe LEDs. What do I have? The LEDs have like a strobe-ish day mode. I think they're LEDs, I don't know. The night mode is not what I've seen on any strobe, so yeah. It's red. It's like a pinkish red night mode. It didn't flash the same as a 306. It was much faster. It wasn't like the 370. This right here is the Rand building. I think it's in like Buffalo, New York. The antenna up there, I think that's a cone strobe, like either an SS129 or an FH301. Probably an old school incandescent. Since this building is old, I'm going to say that's an old school incandescent. The Aurora Antique Mall. You say, why is this on here? Until you notice that thing there. That's some mysterious strobe or LED beacon. I don't know what this is. BLT just uploaded a video of this. It's like a weird LED flash, right? It's probably like some kind of LED. It only shines white. I think it turns off at night since the sign will light up. Picture, yeah. This right here, this building's in Philadelphia, downtown Philadelphia. You see a little tower on top, and you see that has an FH308. Looks like there's also a pair of markers next to the 308. So it looks like this says 308 and markers. It's really cursed. I actually hope those are flashing markers. Since it has a date, and this little tower, this small tower on top of this building, has a day mode, so those markers should flash. This right here is was one of the 2 buildings of the One Liberty Place in Philadelphia. So this building right here, on top of its spire, has a modern incandescent. Looks cool. This is the other building. It doesn't have a spire. It has an ILS 3600, unfortunately. I think it has an ILS 3600. This right here is the Bank of America Tower in New York City. I think it has an FH308 or a white only. It either has a white only single strobe or white only LED on that spire. This right here is the Wilshire Grand Center in Los Angeles. I have a chance to film this in my California arc. I think it has an ILS 3600, unfortunately. This right here is the Bank of America Plaza in Atlanta, the tallest building in Georgia. It's like 1,000 feet tall. The beacon on it, I have no clue what it is. I don't know. So, yeah. I'm probably gonna have to show a video of the Atlanta skyline at night and show you how this beacon flashes. It shines like yellow. Is this actually a Chinese LED? Hope not. And this smaller AT&T building also has beacons. It has 4 incandescent beacons, 1 on each side. I'll show you a video of the Atlanta skyline and see how the beacon on the Bank of America Plaza flashes like.
get a medium fries and a medium soft drink for free when you buy a McDonald's crispy chicken sandwich in the app and...
Search for better. Trying to see if something. On the very right, I see a tower with a 370. 370. Oh wait, there's also a building in the town.
Won't you join in?
Okay.
Help you with anything you need. When you make mistakes, I get.
Okay, this is good. You can see the incandescents on the AT&T building. And see the beacon on that.
Walking on a dream.
See? That looks yellow. That's weird. It sounds like an incandescent. It's maybe an old school incandescent without the red filters inside. Maybe that. So yeah. I'm probably going to start my Tower Collage series back up. This right here is the Salesforce Tower in Indianapolis. Both of those antennas up there have modern incandescents on them. This is just a normal church, right? San Joseph Church in Biddleford, Maine. But as you can see up there, there's some beacon up there. And I think it's some sort of single strobe. It's either an iOS 3600 or a FG2000. FG2000s tend to be more smaller than most single strobes. They just look smaller. And yeah, this is the tallest building in Maine, I think. This building right here is in Boston. It reminds me of the old WTC complex. On that runway antenna up there, it has an old school incandescent. This right here is an old building in downtown Minneapolis. And the round white antenna either has a cone strobe or an old school incandescent, but I think it's shut off, unfortunately. Well, I see markers, so that's an old school incandescent, obviously. Boche. Another building in Minneapolis. This is the IDS Center. It either has a white-only strobe or a white-only LED. It's on this antenna, I think. I don't think it's this one. I think it's this one. These two buildings are in Kansas City, Missouri, so we're heading to BLT's home state. Both of these buildings have incandescents on them. There's a lot of buildings in Kansas City with beacons, but this is boring. All of them have incandescents, nothing else. Just incandescents. 300 millimeters. So the 300 millimeters on these, the 300 millimeter on this building, it's on that like ring thing, and the 300 millimeter on this building is on like the center of the top. And third building in Kansas City with a beacon. Like I said, all the buildings in Kansas City with beacons, they have incandescents. Yeah, you can kind of see the incandescent in there. There might actually be a cone strobe. Old school incandescents, cone strobes resemble old school incandescents really much. So, yeah, another building in Kansas City. You can see one of the incandescents there. So that's cool. That's 4 of them. Another building in Kansas City with beacon. I think it actually has 2 incandescents on top next to each other. And the last one in Kansas City. Yeah, this antenna has an old school incandescent, the Commerce Bank. And this RSA Battle House Tower in Mobile, Alabama. Its beacons has a mysterious flash rate. They're like right there, not at the very top, so I find that kind of weird. I'll show you what these shine like. Okay, turn the audio off. See? You probably also could see another building in Mobile that has a beacon. That's our next and final one of this video. There might be more that I'll find. I'm still figuring out what beacon the Key Tower in Cleveland has, or if it even has a beacon. I don't know if it just has a set of markers on top, like a pair of markers. I don't know. And this is also, and one fun fact about this building right here. It's the tallest building in Alabama. I'm talking about the one I just worked at. The one that has the weird beacons that are halfway up the spire. We're now gonna look at this building right here. See, it's also in Mobile. It has an ILS 3600, unfortunately. But I think it used to have like a FH6 or a 24 old school LED. The older drone video of this beacon flashed like a flash technology dual strobe. Like it was probably a flash technology dual strobe or old school LED. But a newer drone video, it looks like it now has an iOS 3600. Its beacons and like that. I think it's on that one. It's on that pole up there. Over now.